welcome back to our channel, The Book Digest. Today, we are diving into a summary of a truly life-changing book, Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. Now, this book makes a pretty bold claim that sleep is the single most important thing we can do for our health, and frankly, we are getting it dangerously wrong. Right off the bat, Walker hits us with this urgent warning. He says we're in the middle of a silent sleep loss epidemic. He's not just talking about feeling a little tired. He argues that our modern world is literally robbing us of sleep, and the consequences are devastating for everything from our mental health to how long we live. And this isn't just about you feeling groggy at your desk. The scale of this problem is absolutely staggering. We're talking about hundreds of billions of dollars lost every single year around the globe. That's from lost productivity, tragic accidents, and just the massive healthcare costs of diseases that are directly linked to not getting enough sleep. This is a huge problem for all of us, whether we realize it or not. So, to really understand why sleep is so critical, we need to look under the hood. We've got to understand what's actually happening inside our bodies. As Walker explains it, our need for sleep isn't random at all. It's actually controlled by two incredibly powerful biological systems. Okay, so think of it like this. On one hand, you have your circadian rhythm. This is basically your body's 24-hour master clock. It's set by sunlight, and it tells you when to feel awake and when to feel sleepy. But at the same time, there's another system working, sleep pressure. This is a chemical that literally builds up in your brain every single minute you're awake, making you feel more and more tired. These two systems are in a constant dance, and they run your life. And that chemical, the one causing all that sleep pressure, it's called adenosine. And once you understand adenosine, you will never think about your morning coffee the same way again. See, caffeine doesn't actually give you energy. It's a trickster. It works by blocking the receptors in your brain that detect adenosine, basically putting earmuffs on your brain so it can't hear how tired it is. But all the while, that adenosine just keeps building up, and when the caffeine finally wears off, the full force of all that sleepiness hits you like a ton of bricks. That's the caffeine crash. So, whenever we use caffeine or just willpower to push through the exhaustion, we're not actually getting rid of our need for sleep. We're just accumulating what Matthew Walker calls a sleep debt. And just like a financial debt, it comes with some seriously high interest rates for your health. And come on, we all do this, right? You have a few nights of only 5 or 6 hours of sleep, and you tell yourself, you know what, I'm fine, I'm handling it. But the hard science tells a very, very different story. And here is probably the most dangerous thing about being sleep deprived. It doesn't just wreck your performance. It completely destroys your ability to even notice how badly you're doing. You are literally too tired to know you're tired. Get this, after just 19 hours of being awake, your brain is functioning at the same level as someone who is legally drunk. Think about that next time you're driving home late from work. And the long-term picture? Well, it gets even scarier. If you consistently get less than about 7 hours of sleep a night, your risk for all sorts of major health problems just skyrockets. We're talking a way higher chance of heart attacks and strokes, a messed up ability to control your blood sugar, which leads to diabetes, a seriously weakened immune system, and even a much higher risk for several types of cancer and Alzheimer's disease. Okay, I know that was a lot of doom and gloom, but here's the pivot. Here is the really good news. Walker wants us to completely reframe how we think about sleep. It is not wasted time. It is our most powerful tool for getting healthy. It is our nightly superpower. Early in the night, you sink into deep, non-REM sleep. And this is when your brain gets busy. It acts like a super efficient archivist, taking all those new, fragile memories you made during the day and locking them away in your brain's long-term storage. At the very same time, it's also your brain's janitor. A deep clean system kicks in and washes away all the toxic gunk that builds up during the day, including the plaques that are linked to Alzheimer's. Then, later in the night, the magic shifts and you transition into REM sleep, dream sleep. And this is a totally different but equally amazing process. Walker calls it overnight therapy. Your brain actually revisits emotional events from your life and takes the painful sting out of them while still holding on to the lesson. It's also a creativity machine, connecting all your bits of knowledge in new ways. It's literally how you can go to bed struggling with a problem and wake up with a solution. So, knowing all this incredible stuff, what can we actually do about it? How can we get more of this life-changing sleep? Well, this final section is all about the practical, science-backed steps you can start taking tonight to win back your right to a full night's rest. All right, here are 4 of Walker's absolute game changers. Number 1, regularity. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every single day. Yes, even on the weekends. This anchors your body's rhythm. Number 2, darkness and temperature. Your bedroom needs to be a sleep cave, pitch dark and cool. 3, avoid disruptors. Cut off caffeine by the early afternoon. And know this, alcohol might make you feel sleepy, but it absolutely demolishes the quality of your sleep, especially your REM sleep. And finally, number 4, power down. You need about an hour before bed with no screens. That blue light from your phone or TV is tricking your brain into thinking it's still daytime. So when you boil it all down, Walker's message is both incredibly simple and profound. Sleep is not a luxury. It's not a weakness you can just power through. It is a non-negotiable biological necessity. It's the most powerful thing you can do every 24 hours to reset and heal your mind and your body. And that leaves us with one last big question to think about. We live in a culture that glorifies the grind, where pulling an all-nighter is seen as a badge of honor. But if sleep really is the most powerful health elixir we have, why are so many of us still choosing to ignore it? Something to think about tonight as you get ready for bed. Thanks for joining us.